want to know what 6 questions narcissists just can't answer? I mean, like, not that they won't answer, like literally just can't answer. I'm going to just break it down for you right here. Hey there, I'm Rebecca Zung, and I am an attorney. I'm a narcissist negotiation expert. And on this channel and in these videos, I help you shift the dynamic against narcissists so that you can become the most powerful person against them and finally drop the fear so that finally your life will be better. And if that sounds good to you, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Okay, so there are times that you're just trying to talk to narcissists and you're like dealing with them. And I know because I've been there, I've had to deal with them myself, not just in my law practice, but also in my personal life. And it's so frustrating because you're trying to have a conversation with them and they literally just won't answer certain questions. And the reason why is because they don't want to get to this part of themselves that they've protected so much because of this survival mechanism. And what I mean by that is that long ago, when they were children, they came to this conclusion, something happened to them that caused them to believe that the world is a scary place. In order for them to survive, that they had to eat or be eaten in a way. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's really how it is. And so that's why they are so mean in a way, or difficult to deal with, and so toxic to deal with, because they literally feel like in order to survive, they have to be a certain way. And so when you get too close to this, really, it's like their narcissistic injury, they're going to lash out at it. And they have this deep-seated need for a constant source of narcissistic supply, but this supply is really to feed this need for this hunger that they have, in a way, like as if they're going to starve or something, right? But it's because they don't have any inner sense of value. There's no inner sense of value at all. They have this injury, this inside feeling of self-hatred and deep-seated emptiness. So when you try to get at this, anything that is going to expose their vulnerability or expose who they really are, they're not going to let you get there, because that's going to be almost like shatter them. And so they've got these two things going on, this like inner thing that they don't want the world to see, because they've got this false self going on outside. So the questions that they can't answer are really going to be around anything that potentially could expose that they're trying to parade out this false self. So number one is what are the deepest hurts that you've ever suffered? They don't want to talk about their hurts. They don't want to talk about traumas. They don't want to admit that they've ever been hurt, because that would expose them. When I talk in my Slay program about how to create leverage, which is the L in my Slay program, that is all about how you create leverage. I mean, the leverage is going to be, the best leverage is definitely going to be around potentially exposing them, because number one is, what are the deepest hurts you have suffered? They don't want to talk about something that could potentially expose them. So that's one of the questions they will definitely not answer. I'm never hurt. What are you talking about? So that's number one. Number two, why do you feel so threatened by that other person? I don't feel threatened. What are you talking about? Threatened? Nobody ever threatens me. Like if you try to say like, hey, you appear threatened by this other person, they will never. They would be so put off by that. They were so affronted if you ever said something like that. So that's number two. Number three is, why do you always feel like you have to be the center of attention? Oh my goodness. There's somebody in my family, my husband and I, we have somebody in our family that we've just had to really put up some very strong boundaries around, because this particular person has, it just became something where we really tried to work with this particular person. We really tried to have a productive relationship with this particular person. And we really tried to have compassion. And it didn't work because of things like that. And when I read this question, it just is that kind of thing. Why do you have to feel like you have to be the center of attention? Certainly wouldn't answer that question. If you want to know more about why narcissists are giant frauds, I have a whole video on that. Definitely check that out. They're just giant frauds. Definitely check that out. And if you agree with me, put amen in the comments below. You know you do. All right, number 4, ask them, why do you feel like you have to impress people all the time? They won't answer that question. I don't have to impress people. Right. Sure. Number 5, ask them, what makes you happy? Unfortunately, really nothing. I mean, you have to have compassion for them. You really do, because they're not happy. That's the thing. And I'm going to tell you this, the happiest you'll be is when you can have compassion for them. You can turn around and say, namaste, and walk away. And number 6, the last one, asking them, how do you feel about yourself? They're going to say, I feel great. They don't. They truly don't. I mean, they may say that they do, but they don't. So they can't answer these questions. They can't, not truthfully. They make them squirm. They make them uncomfortable. So those are the 6 questions narcissists really can't answer. And honestly, if you are dealing with a narcissist in a negotiation setting, you become public enemy number 1. And it does become one of the worst times in your life. But I'm going to tell you, they are the worst right before they're ready to give up. It's okay. And you're going to get through it. I promise you, you will. I've helped millions of people through this channel and thousands of people through my Slave program in many different ways. So make sure you grab my free Crush My Negotiation Prep worksheet at winmynegotiation.com to get started. It's a free ebook. And join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, so you can at least get some support. And make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so that you can get some free content. And if you like this video, give it a like and give it a share so that other people can get this free content as well, because we want to make sure that as many people as possible have access to this information. And just remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. You can do this. I promise you that you can. You know that you can. And I'm here to help you. All right. And I will definitely see you in the next video.